This case involves a situation where trust, personal relationships, and money became dangerously intertwined, leading to a dispute over thousands of dollars that were allegedly given as loans but are now claimed to be gifts or informal help. The plaintiff is a 28-year-old retail manager who lives with her 11-year-old son. She is a working mother trying to support her household and manage her responsibilities. She claims that she became involved in a personal and emotional connection with a coworker while working in retail management. According to her, what began as a normal professional relationship gradually developed into a friendship and eventually into a situation where she felt compelled to help him financially. The defendant is also 28 years old, a sales associate, married, and the father of 3 young children. He worked in the same workplace as the plaintiff, and that is where their interaction began. According to both parties, they became friendly over time, speaking regularly during work hours and sharing personal conversations. The plaintiff claims that the defendant presented himself as someone struggling financially. She states that he told her he was living with his sister at certain times, that his vehicle had broken down, and that he was experiencing financial hardship that affected his ability to work and support his family. Based on these statements and her belief that he was in genuine need, she began to provide him financial assistance. The first major financial assistance involved a payment of approximately $2,000, which the plaintiff states was intended as a down payment for a vehicle. She explains that the defendant told her that having transportation would allow him to work more hours, improve his income, and better support his children. She claims that she gave him the money out of trust and concern for his situation, believing that it would be repaid once he stabilized financially. Over time, the financial assistance continued. The plaintiff states that the defendant repeatedly requested additional funds, claiming ongoing financial difficulties, including reduced working hours, unexpected expenses, and the need to catch up on bills. According to the plaintiff, she provided additional sums of money, including one payment of approximately $1,500, along with other amounts over time, bringing the total to roughly $4,800. Each time money was requested, the defendant allegedly promised repayment, often stating that he would return the funds once he received his tax refund or once his financial situation improved. The plaintiff says she trusted these assurances because of their working relationship and personal friendship. However, the defendant presents a different version of events. He acknowledges that money was given to him, but he disputes the characterization of these transactions as formal loans. He claims that the money was provided informally between friends and coworkers, without any written agreement, contract, or specific repayment terms. He insists that there was no binding financial obligation and that the funds were given voluntarily. During questioning, the defendant's statements regarding his personal life become inconsistent. He initially suggests that their relationship was purely friendly and professional, but later admits that there may have been some level of personal or intimate involvement at an earlier stage. He also provides unclear and shifting explanations regarding his living arrangements and financial circumstances at the time. The plaintiff, on the other hand, maintains that she believes she was helping someone in genuine need. She describes the defendant as a hardworking individual earning a low hourly wage and supporting 3 children. She states that she believed his financial difficulties were temporary and that any assistance provided would eventually be repaid once his tax refund arrived or his situation improved. However, the evidence presented in court does not include any written loan agreement, repayment schedule, or formal acknowledgement of debt. There are no receipts or documented terms indicating that the money was provided under enforceable financial conditions. The court carefully considers whether this arrangement constitutes a legally enforceable loan or whether it is a series of voluntary financial contributions made within the context of a personal relationship. The distinction is critical because the law requires clear evidence of an agreement to repay in order to establish a binding debt obligation. The defendant's financial status is also considered. He earns approximately $9 per hour and supports 3 children. The court notes that, given his income level and responsibility, the expectation of repaying nearly $5,000 without any formal structure or agreement raises questions about the reasonableness of the alleged loan arrangement. The plaintiff admits that she became aware at some point that some of the defendant's statements regarding his living situation were not accurate. Despite this, she continued to provide financial assistance. She explains that she believed she was helping someone she cared about and trusted, even as inconsistencies began to emerge. Ultimately, the court evaluates the entire relationship between the parties, including their personal interactions, financial exchanges, and conflicting testimony. The court finds that while money was clearly transferred between the parties, there is insufficient legal evidence to establish that these transfers were formal loans with enforceable repayment obligations. The court concludes that the arrangement was informal, based on personal trust and emotional involvement, rather than a structured financial agreement. As a result, the plaintiff's claim for repayment cannot be legally sustained. Accordingly, the case is dismissed. This case serves as a reminder that when money is exchanged between friends or coworkers without clear written terms, expectations of repayment can become difficult to enforce. In situations involving personal relationships, emotion often replaces structure, but in a courtroom, only evidence and enforceable agreements carry legal weight.